Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking on behalf of Cafe 42 in the Amino Hub. Welcome back to the second part of episode 2 of Starship Showdown. This is your host and special guest, the Cyan Corsair. This was the Corvax that actually brought me over from Euclid to Galaxy 42 on permadeath. And this is the original ship that I have for you today here, already prepared and ready to start. Now this ship, normally you would have to find it in a crash landing site, which is about 667 units away. Gotta add that one in. But this is the Resia's Will CD8. This is the Class S 48 8-slot ship that I discovered on my way to the 42nd Galaxy in Suitzerbull Galaxy. Stwo K642 is the planet, and Rikazel A-Class Experimental is the name of the system, as found by Retska, the Amino Hub. As you can see here, it is significantly larger than the Valkyrie, the first ship I reviewed. Got two of the rectangular garage door looking storage units on each side. The ship really wasn't all that massive, to be honest with you, at first. Back when I first found it. Beyond, of course, made everything grow astronomically in size. Of course, it's got the same one-engine design back here, but it has a shark fin tail that I wish the Valkyrie really had in the back. Instead, you have the wings on either side on the Valkyrie there. Both are extremely beautiful ships. As you can see here, hopping into the system here, I have way more upgrades in this ship than the Valkyrie. I call this ship here, in particular, the Tangerine Tiger. But it's called the Resia's Will CD8. It's got maxed out shields, pretty much a maxed out hyperdrive. I actually have 2 layers of upgrades on the shields and hyperdrive. It's nice. And all the different scanners and whatnot. The stats on this guy here is 1873.4 damage potential. That's better than the Valkyrie by far. I don't have that many mods on here. I have the photon cannon and phase beam. I correctly pronounced that in the previous video, so I apologize. But I have both those weapons there. They are stock. Not much really to say about this ship. This is my general hauler on permadeath on the Galaxy 42 save. As you can see, this has all the typical memendes of the previous haulers. I think this actually looks a little cleaner than the Valkyrie's cockpit, but I'm not sure. It just looks a little bit nicer in here. Might just be because of the nice sunny day here in Stwo. The one thing I don't like about this design here is it has the gutted ship neck there. It's like they forgot to put some of the armor plating back on this ship. In role-playing purposes, this ship was used primarily as a Viking troop transport that was repurposed into a cargo vessel. This is the Cyan Corsair's personal flagship and main ship throughout the game. This was my main black hole jumper back when I was making the trip to the 42nd Galaxy. Take us for a quick joyride. If you look over here, you can actually see the crashed version of this ship, which is respawned. I put a base there for convenience sake. Now, I'm not sure if it's because it's newer, or because the design's a little bit different, but this ship, in my opinion, a far better handling performance than the Valkyrie. As a Class S versus a Class C, which really isn't a competition. And honestly, I don't really see why I called this the Starship Showdown this episode. But force of habit has forced me to do so. So just crashed into the ground here. Armament's very similar to the Valkyrie. I do have a rocket launcher here that I did forget about mentioning. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed this or not, but they've really messed with the accuracy of the rocket launcher. It's just not nearly as good a weapon as it used to be. I remember having it back starting my games during Next, and it was a very overpowered weapon. Of course, now it is a shell of its former self. The phase beam, good for mining asteroids. general product. And of course, the photon cannon. This came across a trading post. Nice. Land here for a second before we're back into space. Now, I do have to make a quick shout out to GG Squared for helping me find this ship again. It was his comm ball alongside my base computer that helped me find this location once again. I thought it was lost forever, but thanks to Beyond, I was able to travel back from Zobridge, Galaxy 42, into suitable Galaxy 30. There is a little bit less of a quality A-Class 47 version of Rosé as well. Of course, the Schrader looks like it belongs to the Corsair crew. Nimurkai Pathfinder 12. And the Mirror of Providence. Not bad. I will say this, I'm not really much into the procedure-generated names on these ships. I always personally change them. Except the game always has a habit of resetting the ships for me. This is called the Rosé as well as CD8. I normally call it the Tangier Tiger, or the Tangerine Tiger for short. Get back on the road again. This ship is designed for hyperspace travel. I outfitted it so that it has the max potential for its hyperdrive. Owing to the fact I never really found a good explorer that I wanted to trade in for this thing. But it does a decent enough job in my experience. Still the basic amenities to do so. Maneuverability is a little bit higher in this ship versus the Valkyrie. Mostly I believe is due to the added upgrades that I've added in, plus the fact that it is 3 classes higher than the Class C Valkyrie. It's decently fast. I believe the Valkyrie's a little bit faster because I have a photonics core on it. This is a new account, so I lost the ability to use the photonics with this build. But once I get this on my normal save, I might be able to adjust around with it and make it so it's a little bit faster overall. Now I'm going to do something I didn't do in my previous video here. I'm going to go to the space anomaly here and I'm going to try to find a pirate mission. Hadn't thought about that. I'll try here and I'll try the space station and we'll go from there. So stand by. If you've noticed, I've kind of modeled my captain's colors, the Corsair and the admin's armor based off of the Nexus colors of being blue and orange. Kind of matches up with the Nexus logos. Plus orange being the color of Cafe 42, I couldn't really resist. There's nobody home here today. What gives? And it turns out I found a quest right away. Hunt dangerous pirates. Initialized mission. I haven't changed my logo yet since Beyond, so it's still this generic green and blue logo. I'd probably just make it light blue and dark blue, to be honest with you. It fits the Corsair a little bit better. Interesting fact about the Cyan Corsair, before we go any further. The Corsair was originally a Traveler that I made, and I had the little glowing Gravitino style head on him, and I had changed it over to this Korvax head, seeing that the Korvax kind of took pity on his current design point. But he's been a Korvax ever since. This character's my first Korvax I've actually properly roleplayed with, and I kind of have him as sort of a sociopathic Korvax with multiple different personalities lodged into one shell. This makes him both extremely unstable, but at the same point extremely knowledgeable in certain traits. And it looks like we'll be able to have a proper combat scenario. Summoning my freighter for support. Come at me, bro.
Starships approaching.
Yeah, I don't even know if I have a combat freighter even on this fleet. Oh well, can't change the past. Gotta say, I do like the design of this plate wing hauler here. And they're attacking my freighter. Wonderful. Well, now they're in the hornet's nest. Look at that. This ship definitely performs a little bit better than the Valkyrie when it comes to combat maneuvers. And mind you, I think it's just because of the heavily modified nature of this ship over the previous design.
Hostile ships approaching.
Wave 2. Ha! I did manage to somebody with his rockets. Nice. Ha 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 ha! One down. Also, if you guys didn't realize, phase cannons are probably one of my favorite weapons to use in combat. They just rip straight through all our plating. Very well. When they're fully modded, they just turn out to be death rays. So definitely recommend, if you're having trouble with space combat, get full-on modded phase cannons. Let the phase cannon kick it. Come on. All the smallest fighters that take the longest to kill. I guess that's the advantage of having a fleet here. They can finish it off for me. Truth be told, these ships aren't as easy to fight with as purpose-built starfighters. So I recommend extended firefights with these things, but if you're protecting your cargo, you can't go wrong with this ship. Still haven't taken a chink out of my shields yet. Owing to the 6 Class S mods I have on here. Having weapons could leave a lot to be desired. And I try to test these ships as stock as I can so you guys can get a feel of what it's actually like when you first get a hold of it. There's one. 3 more to go. That red hollow looks really cool. I'm not sure if that's local to this system or not. I like the design on it. It's got like the semi-truck looking body with like 2 wings instead of 1. Like this one has. May have to do a future Starship Showdown episode based off that one. 2 more to go. Sorry about that, my alarm just went off this video. I don't care, we're in pitch combat right now, I'm having fun. We'll go over if we need to. This thing here is taking heaps of abuse. Called the Fuji's Guardian 4. Nice ship, I like it. Not as nice as this one though, obviously. There we go. I don't know why I always like zoom right past the ship after I destroy it. I think my thought process behind that is like I'm trying to capture them for the system authorities, and so I fly past and then like teleport them from one ship to the other to kind of arrest them. I think that's the general idea I have for that one. Alright, mission complete. Return to space anomaly. Well guys, I don't know about you, but I love this ship. I'm gonna go here in normal and actually put a base computer here and share this to the coordinate exchange on Reddit for anyone that's interested in grabbing a copy of this ship. It's not very often you find a S-Class 48 slot in the wild. And I personally think that this ship is very, very worthwhile, especially if you are starting out in the game, even just to get the 48 slots that you need, that your exosuit obviously won't have. Now obviously, these ships being free come at the cost of having to repair them. My buddy DG Squares put an excellent guide on the Amino for anyone interested about rebuilding these ships and exactly how many resources you need for it. But I can tell you it's like crazy amounts. 5,000 chromatic metal. I think one of them is a 3,300 paraffinium. Requires about 20 to 25 wire looming. It's a pretty big amount. Now, I do like to play this game a little bit on the harder side. I prefer building these ships personally than buying them outright and then just throwing my money into finding mods for these things, and or just buying the parts to rebuild it. But it's up to you. I mean, you may not like that, in which case it's very likely you'll find a S-Class 48 slot of this fully repaired at one of the trading posts on STWO K6. I'm gonna go and turn this mission in. I think this is the first Quicksilver mission I actually did on permadeath. I still have a long way to go when it comes to playing this character still. I want to get the Viking armor from him eventually, even though this does look a lot better on him. But that's just me. Alright guys, that wraps up our episode here today on Starship Showdown. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel at Captain Admin TSFR for more No Man's Sky Beyond content. And for you folks in the Amino, thanks for watching and take care. This is Captain Admin signing off. Happy trails, travelers.